Good morning, my friend. As we begin this time together, I invite you to take a gentle breath and place your hand on your heart. So many of us spend years searching for self-love, wondering why it feels so hard to truly accept ourselves. The answer, more often than not, is forgiveness. When we hold on to the hurts of the past, whether directed at others or at ourselves, it is as if we place a heavy stone over our own heart. That weight blocks the natural flow of love, joy, and peace that is already within us. Forgiveness is often misunderstood. People imagine that if they forgive, they are saying the hurt was acceptable or that what happened was somehow all right. But forgiveness is not about excusing another's actions. It is not about condoning pain or pretending it didn't matter. Forgiveness is about freedom. It is about recognizing that by holding on to resentment, we are the ones who suffer. And by choosing to release that bitterness, we set ourselves free. I like to remind people that forgiveness is a gift you give to yourself. It is not dependent on whether someone else apologizes, changes, or even understands. It is an inner choice. When we forgive, we are saying, I refuse to let yesterday control my today. We step out of the prison of anger and walk into the spacious fields of peace. Forgiveness does not make you weak. In truth, it is one of the bravest choices you can make. It takes strength to look at the past and decide, I will not carry this any longer. As you listen today, let yourself remember that forgiveness creates space. Every time you let go of an old resentment, you clear out a corner of your heart where love can live again. Joy, ease, and harmony flow naturally when we stop blocking them with old stories. And the most important relationship forgiveness touches is the one you have with yourself. Until you forgive yourself for the mistakes, the choices, the words you wish you could take back, you will struggle to feel whole. But when you open your heart with compassion, you begin to see that you were always doing the best you could with the awareness you had at the time. Forgiveness is the key to self-love. It is the doorway to peace. It is the gentle invitation to put down the burdens you have carried for far too long. And today, we will walk together through that doorway. By the end of this meditation, we will affirm a simple but powerful truth, a phrase that you can carry with you, repeat in moments of pain, and use as a daily reminder that freedom and peace are always available. So take another slow, deep breath. Settle into your body. Let this be a safe and loving space for you. You are not alone. We are walking this path together, and step by step, you are opening your heart to greater love and deeper peace. Stay with me until the end, when we will speak an affirmation that can begin to change the way you hold the past and allow you to move into the future with freedom. So often, when I sit with people who long to love themselves, I hear the same quiet ache beneath their words. They say, I want to love who I am, but something feels blocked. It feels like there's a wall in my heart. And most of the time, That wall is built out of unforgiveness. Resentments from the past toward parents, partners, friends, or even ourselves stack up brick by brick until love has no clear way to flow in or out. Unforgiveness traps us. It holds us in a kind of emotional prison where we replay the same scenes, repeat the same stories, and rehearse the same pain over and over again. Sometimes we even believe that holding on to our anger is keeping us safe. We think, if I forgive, I'm letting them off the hook. But the truth is, forgiveness is never about the other person. It is about setting yourself free. When you forgive, you release the heavy burden of carrying yesterday's pain into today. Imagine for a moment that you are carrying a heavy backpack filled with rocks. Each rock represents a resentment, a grudge, a hurt you've clung to. How heavy does it feel on your shoulders? How tiring is it to walk through life with that weight pressing down on you? Forgiveness is the act of gently opening that backpack and one by one taking out those rocks, placing them on the ground, and choosing not to carry them any longer. You don't have to deny what happened. You don't have to say it was all right. You are simply choosing peace over pain. Many of us resist forgiveness because we confuse it with weakness. We imagine that forgiving means being passive or letting ourselves be hurt again. But true forgiveness is strength. It is an act of courage. It says, I value my peace more than I value being right. I choose love over resentment. When we forgive, we reclaim our power. We stop letting the past dictate our present moment. This is why unforgiveness blocks self-love so completely. You cannot fully embrace yourself while clutching old anger or shame. The mind whispers, I am not worthy, and the heart echoes, I am not free. But when you let forgiveness in, you create space for self-compassion. You begin to understand that you were doing the best you could with the awareness and tools you had at the time, and so was everyone else. I want you to take a deep breath right now. Close your eyes if you like. Place your hand over your heart and softly say to yourself, I am willing to forgive. I choose love over resentment. These words may feel simple, but they are powerful keys. They unlock the door to your own freedom. Even if you cannot yet forgive completely, your willingness begins to soften the wall. Your willingness is the first crack where light can shine through. Forgiveness does not happen in a single moment. It is a practice, a decision you may need to make again and again. But with each choice, with each affirmation, you step closer to freedom. And as that freedom grows, so does your capacity to love yourself deeply, without condition. Take another breath. Feel the weight you've carried begin to lift, even just a little. Remember this truth. Forgiveness is not weakness. It is the most powerful act of love you can give yourself. I invite you now to step with me into the inner landscape of your own healing. Close your eyes, if that feels comfortable, and allow your breath to become steady and kind. Each inhale is a gift, and each exhale is a gentle release. Imagine yourself standing at the top of a beautiful hillside. The air is fresh, filled with the scent of wildflowers. Before you lies a lush valley, bathed in golden sunlight, quiet and safe. This valley represents your subconscious mind, the tender, hidden place where memories, beliefs, and old hurts often rest. There is no danger here, only opportunity. This is a place created just for you, a sanctuary where you can finally set down the burdens you have been carrying. With each breath, begin to descend softly into the valley. Step by step, feel your body lighten. You may notice the sound of birds singing, the warmth of the sun on your shoulders, or the cool shade of tall trees as you walk. Every detail reminds you are safe, you are guided, you are held. At the center of the valley, you find a clear, gentle stream flowing over smooth stones. The water glimmers in the sunlight, carrying with it a sense of renewal and cleansing. You walk toward it, knowing that this is where you will begin the process of release. As you sit by the edge of the stream, place your hands gently over your heart and allow yourself to acknowledge the pain you've been holding. Perhaps it shows up as a heaviness in your chest, a tightness in your shoulders, or an ache in your stomach. Simply notice it. You do not have to fix it or judge it. You only need to say, I see you, I acknowledge you. Pain is not your enemy. It is simply energy, asking to be recognized. For years, it may have tried to get your attention through the body, through emotions, or through repeating situations. Now, in this safe valley, you allow yourself to see it with compassion rather than fear. You say to yourself, I am safe in this moment of release. I allow myself to see the pain with compassion. As you breathe, imagine that the stream beside you has the power to carry away what no longer serves you. With each exhale, see a ribbon of that pain gently leaving your body, flowing into the water. You may visualize it as dark mist or as small pebbles rolling into the current. Whatever the form, it is leaving you now, carried effortlessly downstream. You do not need to know where it goes. Trust that life transforms it into light. Take your time here. Release one memory, one feeling, one belief at a time. If tears come, allow them. They are cleansing, just like the stream. If silence comes, honor that too. The important part is your willingness to sit in the valley, your courage to face what was once hidden, and your choice to release. The valley is your sacred space, and you can return to it any time. Each visit strengthens your sense of safety and trust. Each time you sit by the stream, you remind yourself, forgiveness and healing are not rushed. They are allowed, step by step, breath by breath. As you prepare to leave the valley, place your hand once more on your heart. Whisper to yourself, I am safe in this moment of release. I allow myself to see the pain with compassion. Carry those words with you like a gentle lantern. They will guide you, reminding you that whenever pain arises, you have a place within where you can release it in love. You climb softly back up the hillside, but something has shifted. The burden is lighter, your breath is freer, and your heart feels a little more open. And you know the valley will always be there, ready to welcome you whenever you need it. Now that you have gently acknowledged your pain in the safety of the valley, it is time to let it go. You do not need to hold on any longer. Picture yourself sitting by that sparkling stream, the water flowing steadily, strong enough to carry away whatever you place in it, yet gentle enough to bring you comfort and peace. In your hands, imagine gathering the burdens that have weighed you down: old anger, bitterness, sadness, shame. Perhaps you see them as heavy stones, or as dark smoke, or as tangled threads. However they appear to you, trust that your imagination is showing you exactly what is ready to be released. Now, with a deep breath, place them into the stream. Watch as the current accepts them without hesitation. They are carried away, dissolving into light as they move farther and farther downstream. You do not need to chase them or look back. They are leaving you now. With every exhale, say quietly to yourself, I let go of pain. It flows away from me now. And as you continue to release, notice how your body feels lighter. Where you once carried tightness, you may feel openness. Where you once held tension, you may sense warmth or calm. This is the gift of forgiveness, the miracle of allowing the stream of life to cleanse you. Pain does not belong to you. It was never meant to be carried forever. You have the power to set it free. Imagine bitterness dissolving into ripples of light, anger melting like ice under the sun, and hurt transforming into soft petals carried by the water. Each release brings more space inside you for joy, peace, and love to enter. With every stone or ribbon of pain you let go, you affirm your readiness for healing. Whisper gently, I am washed clean and renewed. My mind and body are free. Feel the words not only in your thoughts, but in your whole being, as though every cell of your body hears them and breathes a sigh of relief. Take a moment to reflect. What is one hurt you are ready to release today? Perhaps it is a memory of someone's harsh words, or the weight of regret over something you said or did. Whatever it is, visualize yourself placing it in the stream. See it float away until it disappears, leaving behind only clear flowing water. This practice is not about forgetting. It is about freeing yourself from the poison of holding on. When you release bitterness into the current, you make room for love. When you surrender anger, peace finds you. When you let go of hurt, your heart opens wider to life's blessings. The stream continues to flow as it always will, ready to receive whatever you are willing to release. You can return here whenever you feel burdened. Each time you let something go, you strengthen your connection to freedom, lightness, and renewal. Affirm once more, I let go of pain. It flows away from me now. I am washed clean and renewed. And remember, you do not have to do this alone. Every act of release ripples outward. When you let go, you inspire others to let go. When you claim freedom, you invite others into their own. Right one hurt. You're ready to release today and affirm, I let it go. I am free. Share it to inspire someone else's healing. When we hold on to resentment, we often replay the same story in our minds. They hurt me. They were wrong. I am justified in my pain. And while this may feel true, staying locked in that single perspective binds us to the wound. Healing invites us to widen our vision, to soften the edges of our story, and to see through new eyes. Imagine stepping outside yourself for a moment, gently placing your experience on a table in front of you. Instead of standing within the pain, observe it from above, as though you were a compassionate witness looking at the entire situation. From this vantage point, notice that every person involved, including the one who hurt you, was acting from their own beliefs, fears, and limitations. They were not always acting from wisdom or love, but from the conditioning and wounds they carried. This shift does not excuse what happened, nor does it mean you have to condone harmful behavior. Instead, it frees you from the burden of judgment. When you realize that others act out of their own unresolved pain, compassion begins to rise. You may even see the incident as part of their struggle, not a reflection of your worth. Take a moment to picture the other person as a child. Imagine them small, vulnerable, and shaped by their own environment. In this light, their actions may appear less like cruelty and more like unconsciousness. This visualization is not meant to justify their behavior, but to help you recognize that we are all shaped by our histories. When you see through the eyes of compassion, your grip on the wound begins to loosen. From this higher perspective, you may begin to see how the situation itself carried lessons for you, lessons about boundaries, strength, patience, or self-worth. Sometimes, the people who hurt us the most unknowingly become our greatest teachers, guiding us back to deeper love for ourselves. Whisper gently to yourself, I see this experience from a higher perspective. Allow these words to settle like a balm on your heart. Each time you repeat them, you rise above the narrowness of blame and step into the expansiveness of peace. Another truth may also emerge. The need to be right is often heavier than the hurt itself. When you insist on holding on to righteousness, you keep the conflict alive within you. What if you could release the need to be right and instead choose peace? Say softly, I release the need to be right and I choose peace. Notice how these words immediately lighten your energy. By shifting your perspective, you reclaim your freedom. You stop defining yourself by what was done to you and start defining yourself by the wisdom you've gained. You move from being a prisoner of the past into a creator of the present moment. Perspective does not change the facts of what happened, but it transforms the meaning you carry forward. With new eyes, you see not only the pain, but also the possibilities for compassion, strength, and healing. Affirm once more, I see this experience from a higher perspective. I release the need to be right, and I choose peace. Carry this perspective gently with you. Each time the memory arises, meet it not with anger, but with the eyes of understanding. In doing so, you create space for compassion, and compassion is the doorway to true freedom. Forgiveness is not a single act. It is a gift we give ourselves again and again. Each time we release another layer of anger, shame, or grief, we peel away the weight that has kept our hearts heavy. Forgiveness is a declaration, a holy vow whispered into the universe. I forgive you, and I set you free. And think for a moment of someone who still lives in the corners of your memory, someone whose words or actions left an imprint of pain. Perhaps you've carried their face in your mind for years, replaying the wound like an old song. When you speak the words, I forgive you and set you free, you are not saying what they did was acceptable. You are saying that you will no longer carry it as your burden. You are cutting the cord that ties you to the past. But forgiveness is not only for others. Often, the hardest person to forgive is the one we see in the mirror each day. The self-critical thoughts, the regrets, the mistakes we replay in silence, these can be heavier than anything another person has done. True freedom comes when we turn that same compassion inward and say softly, I forgive myself, and I am free. Imagine how those words land in the body, how they move like warm water over the heart, dissolving shame and opening the door to peace. Picture yourself once again at the stream of healing. You've already placed your pain into its flowing current and watched it drift away. Now, imagine stepping fully into the water. Let it wash over you, cleansing, soothing, carrying away the smallest remnants of resentment and guilt. Every drop of water says, all barriers dissolve in the flow of love. This stream is not outside of you, it is within you. Each breath you take is part of that river, carrying away what no longer serves you and returning you to lightness. As you forgive others, notice how your body softens. Shoulders that once carried weight feel lighter. The chest expands with more room for love. The face relaxes, the breath deepens. You may even feel a sense of compassion arise, not for the act that caused harm, but for the humanity that connects us all. Everyone is learning. Everyone is stumbling their way toward love. And as you forgive yourself, something miraculous happens. You stop fighting with your own soul. You stop holding your past mistakes as proof against your worth. Instead, you see them as stepping stones, part of your growth, necessary chapters in your unfolding story. By forgiving yourself, You declare that you are worthy of love now, not when you are perfect, not when you've made amends for every regret, but now, in this very moment. Whisper to yourself, I forgive you and set you free. I forgive myself and I am free. All barriers dissolve in the flow of love. Feel how these words are not just sentences, but keys. With each repetition, another lock opens, another wall crumbles, another piece of your heart is restored to wholeness. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting. It means remembering without pain. It means being able to think of the past and no longer feeling the sting. It means your future is no longer dictated by yesterday's wounds. This is the ultimate gift of release. Freedom. Freedom to live with an open heart. Freedom to welcome joy without fear of loss. Freedom to love yourself and others without the shadow of resentment. Carry these words with you. I forgive you and set you free. I forgive myself and I am free. All barriers dissolve in the flow of love. Let them echo like a mantra through your day, reminding you that forgiveness is not something you wait for. It is something you choose again and again until love becomes the only truth you know. Forgiveness is more than an act. It is a miracle. When you release the tight grip of anger, blame, or regret, you create spaciousness inside your heart. That space is where love returns, where joy breathes, where peace lives. It is where miracles can enter your life. Notice how your body feels now, having walked through the journey of release. The heaviness has lifted, the tension has softened, and what remains is an openness you may not have felt in years. This is the power of forgiveness. It doesn't only change the past, it transforms your present and brightens your future. Life becomes lighter when you no longer carry yesterday on your back. Colors appear more vivid, relationships soften, even challenges feel more manageable because you are not weighed down by old hurts. Forgiveness is freedom. It unshackles you from repeating the same story of pain and invites you to tell a new story of love, healing, and possibility. When love flows without blockage, all of life flows more easily. Your breath deepens. Your sleep becomes more peaceful. Your laughter returns. Forgiveness reminds you that you are not your wounds. You are the light that remains when wounds are released. And from that light, you can love more fully, not because life is perfect, but because your heart is free. Let us seal this practice together with affirmations, words that become anchors for this new way of being. I am forgiven and I am free. I choose love, peace, and joy. All is well in my world. Let these affirmations echo within you. Whisper them softly or declare them boldly. With each repetition, they become truer, more natural, more a part of your lived experience. Now, imagine yourself stepping forward into a golden sunlight. The warmth of this light surrounds you, filling your heart, your mind, and your body with serenity. You are cleansed, renewed, and radiant. Every step you take carries you deeper into freedom, into peace, into the miracle of forgiveness. The past has dissolved into the stream of healing, and before you lies an open horizon of possibility, glowing with love. Carry this vision with you throughout your day. Let forgiveness be your companion, peace your guide, and love your truth. If this meditation touched your heart, share it with someone who may need the healing power of forgiveness. Comment below with, "I forgive and I am free," to anchor your choice and inspire others.